Hola humans, Tredel Lambert here, and today I'm going to show you guys a concept project that I used for a portfolio that I never showed anybody. And I don't know why I didn't show anybody, because honestly, I really liked the project, so I'm going to show it to you guys. And it's something I'm adapting into my comic. I'm going to flip a few things, but the world I built around it, I thought was pretty fun. So, but I'd never had like a story or anything I can do with it. It was just literally a portfolio project. So I thought, why not try to adapt it into the world I already got, and I did. So, I'm going to pull it up. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the whole process. So the sketch, the ideations, the finals, and I'm going to first go and show off the monsters, and then I'm going to show off the characters, and then I'm going to show off the good versions of all of those. So first off, we're going with the monsters. The monsters for this are snakes. Because I was kind of doing a mix of different African cultures, and in it, snakes symbolized a bunch of different stuff, but all in all, I thought they were good thing to start with, because I used it like a video game. Who wouldn't be okay with fighting a snake? Spirit thing. It's like a tainted spirit is what it meant to symbolize. So here is my first, just a bunch of ideations of different snakes. You can see there's over here a snake with snake hands and snake tail. It looks real funky. Okay. And yeah, I'm just trying different ideations for all of them. This one turned into like a salamander, which wasn't the vibe, so I moved on. But I'm here for a snake with hands. I think that's interesting. This snake, no hands, but it's got freaking legs, and I'm here for that. It's weird. I don't think I've seen that concept before, so I really like it. And then, so I moved on from this to this, where I took the ones I like best for like this class of snake character, and I did some line work and I colored them. So it would be like the medium class of character if you were fighting them. It's like the most balanced ones. And then, honestly, I really like this guy. This one's weird because I haven't seen it before. But I also love the idea of a snake man with other snakes for hands, because what does that mean? Does he talk to them? Are they buddies? Are they all just a part of him? And he has 3 heads for no reason? I don't know, but I like the concept. And this, I still don't love, honestly. It just looks like a regular lizard, weird salamander thing. But, it's not the worst in the world, you know? But these two up top are definitely my favorite. And then let's go to the next sketches. These are more sketches. I wanted like a king cobra type dealio. I know how much last time I said I did not like the 4 legs, but this isn't like a lizard I know. And that's probably my favorite one here. This guy is pretty funky too, though. And I'm here for a lizard with 2 legs. It reminds me of like Chinese dragons, kind of, where they just, no wings, there's just 2 legs. Or do they have 4 legs? I think Chinese dragons might have 4 legs. Or Asian dragons. Yeah. Because you kind of have the Eastern dragons and the Western dragons, and they look different but the same, kind of. So then I took all these sketches, and then I refined them into this. I took my favorite ones, and I decided at the end, I'm pretty sure, that I went with this one because I was doing like a video game-esque thing, and this one was just like the flying one. You know how there's always different sorts of enemies? So that was my thinking. But yeah, I just cleaned it up, and I love how I cleaned these up. I did them really quickly, but I think they don't look that bad. And I might be shocked with some of my design things because I did this a few years ago, and I put it up on my website, but like that's literally it. So I might be like, oh yeah, and art always fluctuates how good or bad you are at the time. You're always hoping to get better, but sometimes, like if I've been doing physical drawings for so long, my digital drawing steps back a bit. Yeah, I think this guy specifically was executed well. I like this one too. Looks like a weird dog. I'm here for it. The next, we have this one. This one was supposed to, ooh, I hate this one. This design is disgusting, but I know what I was doing. This one is like the one that's lying in wait. So that's why it's all like flat into the ground, because it's supposed to pop out at you type deal, right? It'd be so cool if I could make this game one of these days, but too focused on comics and stuff to be making games at the moment. So I took that, turned it into this. I think I end up going with this right here. And it's one that kind of pops out at you, or like if, you ever played, what's it called? Silk Song? But like the first one, I'm forgetting the original name. Anyways, they have creatures that are waiting for you like that, and they will snap up, and that's kind of like the same vibe. Sorry, I'm just studying how I did this. It's all lasso tool, by the way. So if you look close, what I'm doing is it's the original sketch cleaned up. Like it's the same as this, but it's slightly cleaned up, and all the colors are just lassoed in, and it looks good for comps, right? I wouldn't do this for anything like final, but I think it looks pretty good as far as just getting a whole vibe of what the design is supposed to be. Later on, I'll show you how I actually clean them up, but I think it's a good way to just boom, get some color in. What does this thing look like? You can do a lot of like color design if you just quickly lasso it in, and then if you lasso it in, you could just take the paint bucket and just like fill in the color. Boom, boom, boom. You could have a bunch of different color comps almost instantly, and then that's just easy to figure out like what you want, which is always good, especially when you're doing concept design. Okay, so next I have like the more bruiser type snake, and I'll just go ahead. These are the sketches. I'll just go ahead and do the final one. I love this color. Just the black snake. I think it looks cool. If you guys have seen, it's based off of a specific snake, but if you see the snake, it's like black, but when it moves, it's kind of iridescent, so it has like that blue in it, and I think that looks real cool, and I think it would be super intimidating, specifically this one, right? Because it's just hella strong, and it's a snake man. I think that slithering to you freaking 8 feet up is going to be a little scary. So I liked when I designed this. I love the iridescence of it, and I kind of got that vibe because I did the scale effect with both the blue and the black. Like the blue is it catching the light, so that's just a fun little quick hack that I did to make it kind of look like something. This guy I don't like at all, too tentacly, but this one I think is funny because the snake parts are acting like feet, and that's not how it happened. But I bet if that was a real creature, it'd move pretty weirdly. I probably have those as fists. Later on, I do I'll show you, but I do like a move set for each finished one, and I bet that I did like a extendo punch for the middle guy specifically, if I finished it. I think I ended up going with the guy over here, though, because I do think that's the coolest. And then, next, this is just the sheet of all the monsters that I did. And all the villains, or the main enemy types that you would encounter. And then I narrow them down to the ones I'm going to work on. And I think, look at that, I think they're varied enough. You have a snake with legs, snake with arms, flying snake with legs, short snake, no legs, no arms. What else could you imagine? But yeah, these are the specific ones that I take. And then I, later on, redraw them and just make them look nice and painterly, I guess. But those are the main enemy types. And now, let's go to what you guys have probably been waiting for. The humans. So first off, with the humans, I did, how should I do this? I'm just going to go bottom up. I start with, so there's 3 characters in total. There's the main character, who is the warrior, and obviously this is a fighting game, hence the enemy types. And then you have the spirit, which is someone who works with the warrior and like almost a power to the warrior. And then you have the artist, and the artist is a little girl. This is based off of African mythology, so or not African, this is based off of ancient Africa. So I took a lot of, I did a storyboard full of just, ancient African fashion, and I kind of not meshed it together, but meshed it together, you know what I mean? So these are the first designs for the little girl. I wanted to keep it I wanted to keep it like fun and interesting, and then from that I wanted to choose a hairstyle. I don't remember which one I go with. I'm kind of learning this with you guys. I think I go with this one, but I'm not 100% sure, so let's find out. Or it might be this one. It's one of the 2 middle ones. But then I take the 3 I like best and I color them. Same thing like I did with the other thing. I just lasso tool color them. Because this is designing for a video game, I'm able to get a little more intricate. I usually like to keep it really simple when it comes to like comics, and something, well, any of these, probably this one, I'd be okay more or less with using in a comic, but the other 2 just designs like that, the comic would just take so long to actually do, so I wouldn't, especially if it's me solo, and I don't have someone to like ink it or color it, or it's all myself, then I would not do that for a comic book. But I'd definitely do that if it was like a 3D game, because once you make it in 3 dimensions, you could freaking turn it and push it in any angle you want, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're good. So that's what I was thinking. It'd be for a video game, so it'd obviously be made in 3D. Even though that's not really my style, because even if you look at the face, it's very anime-esque, but that's how I draw. Half anime, half comic book, in my opinion. But yeah, so I lasso colored all of these, and then I think I leave it at that. I'm pretty sure that I picked this one, but let's go on to the design of the other characters, and then I'll show you what my final lineup is. So now this is for the spirit. So the spirit is the previous warrior. So when a warrior dies, a ritual happens, kind of like the ritual in Black Panther, and then that spirit is with that warrior until to like guide them and show them how to do it, how to do the job, until that warrior dies, and then that warrior becomes a spirit for the next generation of warrior. So the last warrior was a girl, and the warrior in their trials, they get a scar of some sort, and that is to indicate they're a warrior. So here I'm picking what hairstyle I like best and what scar I like best. I'm pretty sure I ended up picking this one, but we'll see. Now these are the designs. Again, they come from ancient African fashion, and I designed different ones. I tried to reflect her a little bit to the main character, but I don't know if I was going to copy the main character's outfit and just use it for hers too. And then I thought that didn't make much sense, even though they come from the same tribe and do the same job. That doesn't mean that they'd wear the same thing, right? So after that, after these concepts, I go and I pick my favorite. I thought for a while about making the spirit just in shadow, and it literally comes up from their shadow, and that is how they talk. But I don't end up doing this, even though I think this looks pretty cool. Just kind of like a shadow veiled in light. But I don't end up doing this because I think I thought it was too dark. And the colors, if you go back to this, the colors are nice and bright, and the whole tribe is nice and bright. So I thought something like this would be a little off tone, personally. So I went a little lighter to that. And I started to like it more personally, even though I think this one's cool. It just didn't fit the tone, and I will probably use this for something else because I do like the vibe. But then I did this, and then I think I changed the colors one more time to even brighter because that's just how the vibe fit. So out of these three, I'm gonna pick one of them, and then whatever hairstyle I'm gonna put on her too. And then next up is nope. Okay, that's the hero. Actually, you know what? Let me go through the hero. I'm gonna show you the villain last, because I forgot to finish the villain. I did all this, but I never finished the villain. I only have the villain concepts, or at least I don't have it. I couldn't find it anywhere. Again, this is a few years ago when I did this, and I have no clue why I can't find it, because you'd think the villain would be almost as important as your hero, right? If not as important. So this is the hero. I did the most concepts for the hero because he's the hero. He's the main character. It's who would be on like the box art or who you'd be looking at the most. So those are all the sketch designs, and again it comes from the same ancient African dress, think Zulu warrior type deal, and those are the vibes. And then I take that, and then after this I go hairstyles. They range from basic to a little more involved. Honestly, I think nowadays I would do something a little more fancy, because they're all very basic. They're all very like, oh, this is a black hairstyle. And I want to get more creative with that because, like, I don't know, we could have so much more hairstyles, but there's like 4 for us in video games, media. It's crazy. And then these are a different scar from the same ritual I was talking about, the warrior ritual. To get the warrior essence in you, you got to lose the fight. So, or not lose the fight, you just got to get nicked, and that's how the power enters you. I think that one's the most aesthetic. This one here. I don't know which one I go with. Like I said before, I think I might go with this one. But yeah, again, I did the most for him because he's the main character. So then I refined and I colored the sketches into this. These are the 4 potentials that I did with the same. I'm pretty sure this is the same lassoing technique. I don't know, actually. No, I think I changed it up for this. I don't think I did the lasso technique for this. I think I just colored over it with a brush, it looks like. But that's probably I don't think that's the faster way to do it. And then I just multiplied everything. That's how it looks. But I think these look good. They look more painted for sure. They're just not as clean as the monster ones are. But I think this is a good indication, especially for like humans and human anatomy. You can get real in the weeds if you want to. So I think this is a better, just quick indication of what it's supposed to be. As far as the other one, the snakes, the lasso technique is easier in my opinion. But I think honestly, I probably did both with this. It's a little bit of everything because I could see that I hit multiply. So I don't know if I shaded underneath or something, but yeah, I don't know. I got to do more digital concepts. I haven't done that in a minute, But then, oh, you know what I don't have on here? I wonder if I have it. I put it in the wrong place. I made weapons for this character, and I don't have the weapon variants. I had so many weapon variants. I wish I had that up, because that would just be cool to see. But first I'll show you the full cast. That's the cast. So the artist, the spirit, and the warrior, and they all work together to finish the game. This honestly I probably started this around, or had the idea around the God of War game coming out, like when he has a kid, just because the kid with extra skills, and then the warrior and blah blah blah. But and then the spirit that can do things, like she could mechanically get places that they can't get to, and then probably unlock something behind a door that they can't get through yet, or whatever. You'd have to really think about that mechanic, because that could easily break the game. Maybe she can't get through magic doors. That's the thing, right? But as you can see here, when his powers are like flared up, the energy matches her energy, right? And a part of the dynamic is, so the status of warrior is passed on through family. So this is his aunt, and then this is her daughter, which his niece. And it's emotional in the fact that her mom has obviously passed, but she's still kind of alive because of him, right? So their bond was close before, but it's going to be even closer because he literally has her mom with him all the time, right? So that in and of itself could be interesting, story-wise. And then let's go to, that's my like 0.2 design of him, where I clean a lot of things up. I put the leopard prints, and then you have her as a power system, and then you have his like divine weapons. And my thing was going to be, he can go to different warrior shrines and pick up different patterns, and those would make the weapon have different elements. So maybe the shield is just a good shield to start, and then maybe it holds on to the energy to do like a T'Challa explosion, and maybe there's one that reflects it back, right? And then obviously it would be the same with these. I thought that would be like just a cool mechanic for a game. You go around the country and you go to different warrior tombs, and you can basically have a portion of their essence to channel through the equipment. But these are his main weapons. And then I do like, this is a little turnaround. I don't think this is the final one that I did. Maybe it was. But his face doesn't really look like him in the other ones. But that's a little turnaround that I did. It's the whole cast again. His power's not flared up. This is interesting because I think this is an illustration that I didn't finish, or I did before, because he doesn't, like, there's a lot that isn't the same between this version of him and this version of him. But I do like how he's holding the weapons. You see, he has the hammer, I guess. I forget. That has an actual name. I just forget it. And the spear and the shield, which I think is rendered pretty coolly. Like, I like that in the wood grain, you kind of have the the magic power that's exuding from him. I think that's interesting. But I should draw this guy more. I actually like the vibe. But yeah, and he doesn't even have the leopard print or anything. So I don't know. And his headband is more golden. You know who this looks like? This looks like my current comic book character. Like, I used him instead of the actual character. But I like the one with the weapons. I think it shows a little oomph. It's like a character one. But let me show you the finished. Oh, before the finished version, I want to show you the bad guy. So the bad guy. So this is all about mind, body, soul, right? So the king has mind, and every time that they get past, like there's a new king, they get the knowledge of the last king, right? Which means the king is just going to get smarter, more clever, and they should be able to run the kingdom better every time, right? And then they have their protector, who is this guy, and he has the body. Every time a warrior passes on, in the same family lineage, when the new warrior's picked, they get all the strength of the last warrior, right? And then the last one is spirit, right? And nobody knows where Spirit went. When the three brothers that started this, that saved the kingdom, whatever origin story that I gave it, the spirit died, and is just the mind and the body that kept on going. But then the spirit didn't die. It got twisted. And then you have the original brother of the founders of this village, or this kingdom, come up, and that's him. And he becomes dark and twisted and a snake man. And personally, I like these concepts. I totally forgot a lot. I forgot about these concepts. Like, I knew I did something kind of like this, but I think it looks cool, especially with the snake motifs and the glowing eyes. And he's the one making all the snakes weird. So that is, yeah, look at these. So he's kind of like a trickster, and he uses spirit power, and he's tricky. But I think the saddest thing about this whole video is I don't finish any of these. I'm not sure which one I would have picked, because I like a few of them, but I don't finish any of these. But this one's just pencil and lasso tool too. That's how I finished it, and I think they're decent concepts. But now let me show you. I made this so messy. I didn't. All right, let me show you the finished version of the snakes first, and then I'm going to go on to the characters, and then I'll show you the character lineup. So first off, you have this snake, no arm snake. So I repainted him, gave him scales. They're not just triangles anymore. And I tried my best to make him look slick, like a snake does. And this one looks curious, like he's looking behind a tree. But yeah, and then I gave him a moveset, kicks like a kangaroo. And then the bite, one arm kick, and then the swift kick. So you have kind of like the light attack, heavy attack, super heavy attack, and then maybe like a venom attack or something. I don't know what the bite does. But so I think the difference between the original just quick sketch and the painting is same idea, just done better. Made sure to get snake reference and all that, because reference is super important when you're doing stuff like that. And I think it gives a pretty good vibe in how it would look like in the game. And then next will be this is the flying one. He hangs on trees and he spits venom. And then in my thinking, he flies from like tree branch to tree branch, just spitting venom, and he probably got to do like a jump attack to get him. But he looks sinister. Nobody wants to see him in a tree, right? I would hate that. All of a sudden you just get poisoned. Nobody wants that. That'd be nasty. So I used the same technique to make this snake. You see the kind of crackly texture in there along with the actual scales. And then you have the big boy. I don't see the brown snake in here, so I may have cut him because I thought it was unnecessary. And it looked a little silly. I'm pretty sure I'm like, the more I go, the more I remember. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. But look at this strong boy over here, the snake man. Muscles just going crazy. And then I tried my best to keep the iridescence in here. Shading with black is always a little difficult when something is just black, but this is looking cool. You have the color variants, and then he's the heavy. Does the swipe, the slam, and then he'll wrap you up, and that's never good. Everyone who's played video games knows when they get into that position, we all feel like that. All feel like that. It's never good. And I like how sinister he looks and how shocked he looks. That's funny. Again, it's been a while since I reviewed these, so if I'm shocked, it's like looking at a different person's work almost. And then I have the whole cast with the size ranges and all. So you have the common enemy, the heavy enemy, and the specialized enemy. Look at this guy. He looks sinister. I don't trust him. Out of all of them, I really don't like him. Just his vibes are off. So those are the enemy types. And I think the snake enemy type was a good one to start with, especially because the villain is so snake themed, right? I think it was a good one to start with. I know when I thought like, maybe I should expand this, that I was going to do the same type of like anthropomorphizing of different animals. Like I was going to do hippos, I was going to do lions, and there was one other thing that I was going to do that I forget. Cheetahs, maybe? No, I wouldn't have done two cats. But I was going to do a few of them, and then their boss would be like the king version of those three groups, and it was going to be my guy over here making a pact with all of them to kind of be like, ooh, we're getting this kingdom because long ago they betrayed me or whatever. I don't know. You know how villains be. But so those would be the bad guys that you'd have to fight throughout the whole game. And then we have the artist, finished. So I did a front view and a back view. The front view is shaded because I didn't think the back view needed to be shaded. But that's like the illustration. And then she has all her art supplies, and they also have the markings, and they all do different things. So the artist would be a support person. She would make the like the stamina spells and the health spells and the magic spells. And we would get different things to make different paints, and that would unlock different areas. She would be able to like shut down magic barriers because the warrior wouldn't know anything about that. So she is a mix of like the white mage and just magic expert of the group. And my thing was like, oh, she's a talent, you know? So we have the artist, and then we have her mom, who is the spirit, and the spirit just is the spirit, right? She doesn't have any anything on her. She's just the power. And I thought in 3 states, the warrior could kind of shoot her like like a key blast, right? And then it would be basically equivalent to like a punch, and that costs like a little amount of magic. And then she can just show up, and maybe she starts and kind of shows up like this at first, like a true ghost genie type thing. And she is able to give advice, and maybe she's able to hold something off so the warrior can get his attack in, but it's not strong yet. And then this is a little stronger, and this is when she could full-fledged be summoned. And I enjoy this effect because I think I just did a white line, and then I made it glow, and then I used the glow color as her skin too, because it really does look like she's glowing, which I think is fun. But yeah, like I like the effect as far as like a ghost spirit goes. And then when she's in this form, she could just full on fight, right? You could send her over there across the bridge to fight while you fight the the people on this side. And then that's what I'm thinking. And then last but not least, we have the warrior. Ooh, that's the finished warrior. Oh, I did end up going with the gold crown because in the sketch it's the same fabric as this, right? It's just like a bandana, but this is the warrior. I think he looks pretty cool, and I would play as this character in a video game. And then you have his weapons, and then these would be his health, magic, and stamina, and that is what the artist would make him. And this is him, no flaring magic. This is him flaring magic. And yeah, I think every time he's summoned is when his eyes are like that. And I think what I did do was I think I gave our boy an avatar state, because she confused with him and they become like Super Saiyan Warrior avatar state plus. And then he's like all golden, right? Which it's not even a copying anymore. Everyone has a power mode. Name one character, they have a power mode at some point. Spider-Man, he has a power mode at some point. So, but I haven't painted like this in a while. Maybe I'll do like a live stream or something where I paint like this, because it's been a minute since I did anything that wasn't just like a comic art style. This is just unlocking memories. Oh yeah, I can paint like this. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I have the front and back, the items, and then I have the lineup. There's all of them together. Happy family on a mission to save their village, which is important. But yeah, and that's my little concept project. In my head, I was just comparing these guys to these guys as far as like the monotone color, and they're kind of a little more muted, except for maybe the yellow guy. I think I'd make him a little more muted as far as his tone goes, like maybe slightly browner, maybe give him the color palette of the big one from before, and then make him darker, probably as dark as as dark as his green is. But yeah, those are the protagonists of my game, and that was my concept for, like, my concept art for the game. Now that I see this, I want to do more of it. I'm kind of hyped myself up a little bit, because I haven't painted like this in a while, and just seeing it goes like, oh yeah, you could paint a little more real. It doesn't all have to be comic. So after making this video, I might just go do that. But let me know how you like these characters. Let me know if you want to see more with these characters. Maybe I do a little like narrative painting with them, or do like a short story. let me know if you want to see me do a redesign of these characters for my comic book, The Set Empire, because I have an idea for that, but I don't have any visuals at all. It'd be quite a change, but it would be more or less these guys, and I think that would be an interesting thing to do on live. So if you've gotten this far and you've enjoyed the video, just let me know if you want to see more from this project, and if you want me to include this project in The Set Empire, because I have an idea for it, and if enough of you guys like it, then hey, I'll show how I adapt it to the new thing, and I think that would be pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Let me know if you want to see anything else from me as far as art, storytelling. That's really what I do. I do art and I write. So if you want to see anything in that vein, if you want to see maybe some books that I learned from or something of that ilk, let me know. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. See y'all later. Peace out. Like and subscribe, and yeah, tight.